Namaskar. Here is Sarosh Kumar Das. I am from the Center for Panchayati Raj, National Institute for Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Hyderabad. Welcome to my session, and today I will be discussing with you role of Gram Sabha in Panchayati Raj governance in India. When I mean about the Gram Sabha, you might be having number of questions with you. When I mean Gram Sabha, is it the assembly of the village, or is it the assembly of an Gram Panchayat, or is it is an assembly of the revenue village? To clarify you, whenever I mean Gram Sabha is the assembly of a defined Gram Panchayat where all the adult members, those who are beyond the age of 18 or the voters, are the members of that assembly, and that is what is called the village assembly. Otherwise, in our typical Indian language, we tell it Gram Sabha. And this particular Gram Sabha has its all sanctity. I mean, it has acquired its legal sanctity and entity after the 73rd Constitutional Amendment in the year 1992. Prior to that, you might be having the question in your mind, was not Gram Sabha there earlier in our Vedic period, in our history? Yes, Gram Sabha was there, but Gram Sabha was in a different format, and it was more or less an informal assembly of the village, and mostly it used to be treated as a Nyaya Sabha. But with the introduction of the Constitutional Amendment of 73rd, first time the Panchayat got its statutory status, so also the Gram Sabha. Then the one of the most unique feature of 73rd Constitutional Amendment is that whatever is to be decided for the village Panchayat or the Gram Panchayat, the direct democracy platform is to be Gram Sabha, where everything is being discussed about the economic development and social justice agenda of that village Panchayat. To put it differently, the only mandate of Panchayat is to work for the economic development of the area and also for the social justice for the marginalized sections of the community. So that way Gram Sabha acquired a very significant role in the democratic decentralization of the country just after the 73rd Constitutional Amendment. And to make it more easier or make it more simple for you people, the Gram Sabha is the fulcrum of economic development and social justice agenda of the Gram Panchayat. And today I will be discussing with the Gram Sabha in a very systematic manner. I will tell you about what exactly the rationale behind the Gram Sabha. Then after I will tell you what are the role and responsibility vis-a-vis the duties of the Gram Sabha, and I will also let you know what are the different dynamics of the Gram Sabha which really needed to be known by the people for the better functioning of Gram Sabha, and I will also tell you about how Gram Sabha could made an effective platform of decision making and planning for the entire villages in the Panchayat. To start with, when I talk about the Gram Sabha, it is that assembly wherein all the agenda of the Panchayat, starting with the common man to even the elite people, are being discussed. And when I mean about the economic development agenda of the Gram Sabha, that Gram Sabha is assigned with the responsibility of developing the planning for the entire village or the entire Panchayat. I will just let you know, in the recent past, the government of India was conceived of the Gram Panchayat development plan. When we talk about the Gram Panchayat development plan, it has to be a comprehensive holistic plan of the entire Panchayat and blending all the sections of the community for a better rural life. Here the Gram Sabha play a very critical role. That means whatever the situational analysis, whatever the needs and the priorities of the people will be there, that is prior to Gram Sabha, it is discussed in the Ward Sabha. Then also in many states also you will be very interesting to tell you that in many states across the country, also Mahila Sabha is conducted, means Women Sabha is conducted prior to the Gram Sabha. So when we think of Gram Sabha, it is the Sabha, it is the assembly of the entire Gram Panchayat which consists of few revenue villages, and on those revenue village, or to be put it more simpler form in words, there is used to be Ward Sabha or the Palli Sabha, and also cutting across revenue Ward Sabhas, there used to be Mahila Sabha prior to the Gram Sabha, because in the Ward Sabha and Mahila Sabha, the particularly the needs and aspiration and requirement of the people for accessing themselves with the economic development for livelihood and social justice to have a more decent life is being talked about. So, I will let you know how the Gram Sabha, what is the exactly the major business of the Gram Sabha. To start with, the first business of the Gram Sabha, as I rightly tell you, that Gram Sabha takes care of the formulation of plans and programs for required for that panchayat, looking at the resource envelope, looking at the funds available to that panchayat only. So, this is first and foremost function of the Gram Sabha. Second function of the Gram Sabha is to identify the different locations for the development projects and also the individual benefits who could be accessed with different social justice scheme or with many economic development schemes of the government of union government as well as the state government. To put it in a very simpler format, suppose Madhupur Gram Panchayat. In Madhupur Gram Panchayat, there are 3 revenue villages, Haripur, Jadupur and Syampur. But whenever we conduct the Gram Sabha, it is the Gram Sabha for the entire Madhupur Gram Panchayat, where the individual revenue villages people need to be assembled and they need to discuss the entire problems and also need to know more about the schemes and programs implemented in that particular Madhupur Gram Panchayat. So, to put it otherwise, the Gram Sabha also decides about the beneficiaries, about the schemes as well as the project to be undertaken under the various different schemes. For example, let me relate it to panchayat. For example, you might be all knowing that Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act is one of the world's largest flagship program. Under that flagship program, we have the mandate. It has the mandates that it could provide 100 working days to the each household. So, in the Gram Sabha itself, what will be the labor budget of that Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is being decided, and who will be getting, which household will be requiring for this 100 days, all this and all what are the project to be undertaken, it is also discussed and finalized at the Gram Sabha level. For example, in the recent past, what I was talking about, the Finance Commission grant, which is first time given directly to the Gram Panchayat. In the Gram Sabha itself, the call for the Finance Commission grants utilization is taken. That means the Gram Sabha, what are the basic services where the fund will be utilized, what will be the project will be taken for the fund utilization, what type of sector intervention is to be taken care in the Gram Panchayat development plan. All these things are decided at the Gram Sabha level. And also I would like to tell you, when I talk about the individual benefit schemes or the entitlement, suppose in a particular GP there are 100 people, they are seeking for the old age pension. So, Gram Sabha takes the call, getting the information from different Mahila Sabha as well as Ward Sabha, who will be in a prioritized manner will be given this old age pension, because the fund is limited and benefits is also limited, there are many people. So, Gram Sabha looking at the need of the locality and prioritization of the giving the utilization of funds, decides who will be the first beneficiary of such pension schemes or social benefit schemes. So, this is one of the critical role of the Gram Sabha. Besides that, Gram Sabha also takes call on the implementation as well as monitoring and supervision of the different ongoing program at the GP level. For example, at the GP level, we have many officials, extension official for namely Gram Panchayat Rozgar Sevak, we have ASA worker, we have Anganwadi worker, we have also health worker, we have also field para teachers, we have also livestock inspector. So, whether these people are really attending to their assigned and mandated work, Gram Sabha has the power to monitor and supervise their works. For example, Gram Sabha has also power to monitor the different institutions located within the Gram Panchayat. For example, Anganwadi work centers, for example, the health center, whether the services mandated to them, assigned to them is being carried out properly or not, whether there is some gaps or lapses in the delivery of services. So this is one of the very clear cut assigned role of the Gram Sabha. And to put it in differently also, Gram Sabha has another bigger responsibility on financial part. Gram Sabha is only forum where the budget for the panchayat is finalized, and Gram Sabha is only forum also where the utilization certificate, whether the funds have been properly utilized in a given financial years, that certificate is also given at the Gram Sabha level. And Gram Sabha is equally has also a vigilance role. Vigilance roles, for example, whenever some gaps are coming, the Gram Sabha has also power to engage some special villagers or some workers or some panchayat members to look into that and comply a report to the Gram Sabha, so that Gram Sabha can improve upon the implementation gaps of that particular schemes or programs. So as a whole, when you see this Gram Sabha has so much important role, but we have at the same time a question whether the Gram Sabhas are properly conducted or not. I was just narrating about the importance of the Gram Sabha, but I have a question. When Gram Sabha has so much importance in the functioning of the Gram Panchayat, and it is being taught about that it is a platform of direct democracy, I have a question for me itself, whether the Gram Sabhas are functioning properly or not. Yes, we need to look into this functioning of Gram Sabha, and we have enough provisions in different state acts as well as in the central act to make Gram Sabha function effectively. Before the functioning of Gram Sabha, we have to take care of certain institutional arrangement. First of all, most important part of Gram Sabha successful conduct of Gram Sabha is the element of notice. How the notice are being served for a effective Gram Sabha, because unless until adequate number of people are not mobilized for the Gram Sabha, then decision making of the village may not be holistic, may not be in total. In that context, what is important, we need to give 15 days notice for the conduct of Gram Sabha, and this notice has to be reached out to the household in the form of either miking or in the form of public address system or in the form of posters, banners, distribution of leaflet. So these are the means through which Gram Sabha mobilization could take place and notice could be served. And interestingly, as on date by the Government of India, what we have been doing, we are also moving around the Suchna Ratha, we are also having the Kala Jatha street play to make the people sure that Gram Sabha functions properly. So notice is one of the most important element. If the people are rightly informed about the venue, informed about the time, informed about the agenda of the Gram Sabha, then the people feel that yes, we have an institution, we have a platform where we can really make our voices heard and make our choices also recorded. So Gram Sabha is an institution which gives voice to voiceless, which gives choice to choiceless. And moreover, Gram Sabha is a place where the many unreached people are reached. So notice is very important, followed by notice what we could do, what should be the agenda of the Gram Sabha. This agenda of the Gram Sabha should be known to people earlier. If the people are aware of the agenda, they have the interest. No, I have an old age pension to get, should I go to Gram Sabha to get it? I have to see that my daughter is going to get married. Is there any schemes to support my daughter if I am a poor person? Yes, there is a problem in getting piped water, drinking water at my hamlet. Is there any scheme available where I could access to the drinking water? So if agenda is properly discussed known to the people, people feel like attending the Gram Sabha. And more importantly, also in the Gram Sabha, the quorum matters. I mean, when you talk about in particular a village assembly, if the village total voters are 6,000 people, in that case, what should be the minimum quorum required for the conduct of Gram Sabha? In that place, many states has many defined acts and rules for the quorum. But as a whole, we can say that minimum 1/10 of the total registered voter should make available to the Gram Sabha, so that Gram Sabha could be taken place properly. And again, one of the more important element in the successful conduct of Gram Sabha is the attendance part. attendance and record keeping. In the Gram Sabha, the attendance of all the people attending the Gram Sabha, that has to be recorded. So also the agenda and discussion thereof, that need to be also recorded, because you should know about that the decision of Gram Sabha can never be challenged even in the highest court in the country. The Gram Sabha decisions are final, and Gram Sabha decision can be reviewed not by the judiciary, not by the administrative people. Gram Sabha decision can be reviewed only again at the Gram Sabha level. That is what is the sanctity of Gram Sabha decision, and also the selection of projects and beneficiary. And moreover, when you talk about the Gram Sabha, there is one more element which I would like to really make you aware of the fact that the conduct of Gram Sabha need to be very judiciously taken place. Reason being, the village panchayat president presides over the Gram Sabha. In his absence, the Naib Sarpanch or the vice president presides. If both are absent, in that case, the Gram Sabha itself can decide the senior most member, or by unanimous decision or a resolution, they can select any member of the Gram Sabha who could chair the meeting. Because chairing the meeting is very important, because he has to be an 360-degree person. Reason, he has to listens to women, he has to listen to the poor, he has to listen to the elite, he has to listen to marginal sections of the community. Unless until he don't give space for this category, vulnerable section of the community to speak out their issues, the Gram Sabha decisions and deliberation cannot be scientific. That is why, as you know, 50% of our population is women. In many Gram Sabha, you find that the women members are very least in its number. In that case, the women ward member, they need to take care of mobilizing the women, especially SSG group members, especially the GP level federation members. They should also attend the Gram Sabha. If the women attend the Gram Sabha, the social justice could be better achieved. The economic development is, as on date, is mostly driven by the male people. If the women started attending the Gram Sabha, then the household issues, the community issues could be better heard, and the planning could be much more holistic and much more inclusive in its nature. And talking about the Gram Sabha, one more thing regarding that particular vigilance role of the Gram Sabha. So, whenever the Gram Sabha, when the agenda is discussed about, if the common man has a grievance, has a complaint about certain things, either delay in getting the pension, delay in getting the, grains, free grains, or delay in getting the scholarship, or delay in getting some sort of benefits, in that case, he can raise the voice, and that could be recorded, and the Sarpanch or the Panchayat executive officer or the GP secretary has to take note of such complaint, so that it could be resolved as a follow-up matters, so that people build up the trust with the Gram Sabha. The most important thing, trust building with the Gram Sabha. If the Sarpanch secretary, if the Panchayat Sarpanch, they themselves become the people's man, if they become really the spokesman for the village, I hope the Gram Sabha could be a wonderful institution of direct democracy. It could be a wonderful institution of the village Panchayat. To sum up my presentation, to put it in right perspective, Gram Sabha has been mandated with the greater power. More important, how it could really carry forward the economic development agenda and social justice agenda of the Panchayat depends on the person who chairs the Gram Sabha, and it is the responsibility of the entire village community, the elite group, academic group, and also community resource person, even the Bharat Nirman volunteers, even the SSG leaders, even the government officials, extension officials, so that they remain present in Gram Sabha and they clarify the doubts, they clarify the many issues if raised by the common people. That way the trust with the Panchayat is trust relationship build up, and Panchayat becomes a real instrument of reaching out the unreached people, listening to the, giving space to the choice to giving space to choice to choiceless people, and also panchayat becomes an platform giving voice to voiceless people. So hopefully if Gram Sabha is made functional, you rest assured rural life, rural India will be a different planet, and we all will live with the love and smile, and it is our duty to bring smile on the faces of the poor people only through the Gram Sabha. Lastly, I would like to thank you all for listening to me patiently. I am available to you. My email ID is saroj, saroj.skd1962 @gmail.com. Thank you.